Hello, church family. Today we're going to be looking at Psalm 11. And Psalm 11 is going to follow the theme of many of the Psalms, in particular at the end of Psalm 1 and in Psalm 1 throughout, but especially at the end. We see this contrast between the righteous and the wicked. We see that the righteous stand in the judgment, but the sinners can't stand in the judgment. And so we see that theme resonate throughout the entire book of Psalms, but especially in these early Psalms. And so today we're going to see that same theme play out. So it's going to be Psalm 11 to the choir master. So this is one who would, in some way, kind of lead the worship and the music. It is a psalm of David, meaning David is the author. So David is the great, psalmist of Israel. In First Chronicles, we see him organizing songs and organizing temple worship. What will be temple worship as he's preparing for Solomon to be able to build the temple. And this is what it says. In the Lord I take refuge. So that's going to be kind of the big theme. In the Lord I take refuge. And why does he need to take refuge in the Lord? Well, you can see it from what he's going to say after this. How can you say to my soul, flee like a bird to your mountain? For behold, the wicked bend the bow. They have fitted their arrow to the string to shoot in the dark at the upright in heart. So how can someone say, right, flee like a bird to the mountain, right? Why? Well, because the wicked, right, I'll do it in red, the wicked are bending the bow. They've fitted the arrow. They're shooting, right? And who are they shooting at? Well, they're shooting at the upright in heart, right? So he feels like he needs to flee. But then he's going to say, if the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? So if the wicked are prospering, what can the righteous do, right? So if the wicked are like this, what can the righteous do? Well, he's going to give the answer here. The Lord, in the Lord I take refuge, right? The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. What is this saying? Well, the wicked might act like they want to, right? The wicked might act like they want to, but God is the ruler. God is king, right? God's rule and authority are already established. His eyes see, his eyelids test the children of man. So God's looking, and we're going to see this idea of him seeing and him testing the children of men through the rest of the psalm. The Lord tests the righteous, but his soul hates the wicked and the one who loves violence. So God is testing the righteous. He's seeing whether or not the righteous will follow him. So God tests his people, right? He doesn't tempt his people. James 1 says that God does not tempt, but God does test his people. Deuteronomy 13 talks about this. We see God testing Abraham in Genesis 22. So the Lord tests the righteous, but his soul hates the wicked and the one who loves violence. So God is opposed. In fact, look at that language, right? He hates the wicked. Let him, that is, let God, let him rain coals on the wicked. Right? So let the wicked be judged. Fire and sulfur. So here we've got that parallelism or kind of a correspondence of idea. Fire and sulfur, coals, right? Let him rain coals on the wicked. Fire and sulfur and a scorching wind shall be the portion of their cup. So what are the wicked going to inherit? Well, God's judgments. That's clearly God's judgment. For the Lord is righteous. So because he's righteous, he's going to judge the wicked. Because he's righteous, he's going to rescue. He's going to test the righteous. He's going to test his people. He loves righteous deeds. God loves when people do what is right, righteous deeds. The upright, just another word for righteous, the upright shall behold his face. What does that mean? Well, they'll be in his presence. They'll be before him. They will have right relationship with him. This idea of beholding God's face is an idea of being in God's presence. So it really comes back to the end of that Psalm 1 idea, right? where the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous, for the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish, right? So Psalm 1, verses 5 through 6 in particular. But God knows the righteous, and he knows the wickedness of the wicked, and God is the just judge who always does what is right. So if today you are struggling, if today you are being pressed down by the weight and the sin of this world, trust in God, right? So, right, understand that the Lord is your refuge. Understand that God is in his holy temple. Understand that God is sitting on his throne. And we understand that even with an even greater richness when we consider the whole of the Bible, is that God is on his throne, and that Christ, who is at his right hand, interceding for his people. So we have confidence in the wickedness, that God will take care of the wickedness of this world.